Hi everyone, it's Chris and welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's lovely to have you along. I'd love it if I could earn your subscription. And if you're regular to the channel, well, welcome back. Your continued support is greatly appreciated and never goes unnoticed, so thank you. Today I'm going to continue with my series of Favourite 5, where I share my favourite 5 tracks from any one particular band or artist, and my favourite 5 albums by that band or artist, and they're always studio albums. And today's choice is Budgie, Welsh band who were formed in the late 60s, didn't record until 1971. Tremendous band, really influential on the metal scene, but not commercially very successful at all. Now, the first thing I ever bought by Budgie was in 1979, and it was this. I bought it from a second-hand record shop, The Best of Budgie, and this introduced me to many of their classic songs. Now, in 1979, going into 80, was here in the UK was the new wave of British heavy metal, where there were lots of new bands appearing, many of which had been influenced by Budgie. But Budgie reinvented themselves that year and almost became part of the new wave of British heavy metal. In fact, they were one of the standout acts for me at Reading in 1980, which is very much the new wave a British heavy metal festival that year, and they brought out an album which very much fitted into that kind of movement, Power Supply. It's my 5th favourite Budgie album. This is very, very different to the stuff that appears on this album. Because on this album we've got kind of longish songs with changes in tempo and so on, light and shade kind of elements to them. On here we've got lots of up-tempo rockers, so Forearm Smash, Hellbender, Power Supply, Crime Against the World. Just a really good album, very different to the stuff that came before, and that's my 5th favourite Budgie album. At number 4, I've gone with their debut on MCA Records from 1971. Again, we've got that light and shade, very different to Power Supply. That light and shade. Burke Shelley, who sadly passed away a couple of years ago now, very much brought the kind of almost like a folky sound to the band, as well as the heavy sound as well. So it starts off with a song called Guts, and then goes into which is really heavy, then goes into a short a number called Everything in My Heart, that then goes into The Author, which is quite acoustic and quite gentle, and then it goes into quite a heavy song, which is a typical just a brilliant title, and they were renowned for bizarre titles, Budgie. New Disintegrating Parachutist Woman, which is a great way to close side 1. Rape of the Locks is good. Homicidal Suicidal, that closes the album, is also very good. So a really solid debut from Budgie from 1971. That's my 4th favourite album. My 3rd favourite album is this one from 72. This must be their 2nd album. This is Squawk, with its Roger Dean cover. Some good songs on here. Whiskey River, Rocking Man. Again, another one of those brilliant titles. Hot as a Docker's Armpit, that closes off side 1. And then Young is a World and Stranded, 2 songs that close off side 2. Really good songs. So a really good album from them at number 3. At number 2, I've gone with this, which is often seen as one of their real epic kind of albums, and certainly has a kind of a more of a proggy feel to it. This is a tremendous, it's Roger Dean cover. He was doing a lot of covers for bands at the time. Obviously, the Budgie logo, very similar to the Yes logo, and also Osa Bisa as well, who also had covers done by him round about this time. But this is a tremendous album. Starts off with Bread Fan, which Metallica did a good version of, great version on here. And then they do a cover of Baby Please Don't Go, which lots of people have done. Them, Ted Nugent, AC/DC. And I think AC/DC probably heard this version of it, because it's very similar to theirs. One of the things that I think often puts people off this band is the high-pitched vocals of Burke Shelley, their vocalist, who sadly passed away a couple of years ago. And Bread Fan and Baby Please Don't Go are kind of 2 good examples of where that vocal is very high. I personally don't mind it, but it can put people off. And then we've got one of those fantastic Budgie titles that closes off side 1, You're the Biggest Thing Since Powdered Milk. And then side 2 starts with In the Grip of a Tyre Fitter's Hand. I mean, the brilliant titles. And then we've got this epic song called Parents that closes off side 2 and closes the album, which is just kind of a prog epic. It's really good. That's my 2nd favourite Budgie album. And my favourite one, though, is this album. This is from 1974. This is In for the Kill. I think this is their heaviest album. Starts off with the title track, In for the Kill, which is an epic heavy track. Their guitarist Tony Burge, he's right up there with Tony Iommi for me in terms of the riffs that he created. I can see how he would have been a huge influence on so many guitarists. Crash Course in Brain Surgery, the second song, is a song that also Metallica covered to great effect, but great version. The original is fantastic. Zoom Club closes side one, which is brilliant. Hammer and Tongs is like the bastard son of Dazed and Confused. And then Running for My Soul, Living on Your Own, great way to close the album. But that's my favourite Budgie album, 74, on MCA Records, In for the Kill, tremendous. Okay, let's look at my favourite 5 songs by this band. So my favourite, or my 5th favourite, is the second thing I ever bought. So the first thing I ever bought was the best of. The second thing was a 12-inch single I bought in 1980 after hearing it either on Alan Freeman or on Tommy Vance's radio show. And the 12-inch single was called If Swallowed Do Not Induce Vomiting. It had 4 songs on it. Wildfire was one of those, which they played at Reading to great effect. And the other song, or there's 4 songs, but the other song I really like on here is my 5th choice, and that's Panzer Division Destroyed, which they also played at Reading. I love that song, and a nostalgic pick possibly, because it reminds me of such a brilliant time for me and for music. But Panzer Division Destroyed from this EP is my 5th favourite Budgie song. At number 4, going with the fantastic opener from Never Turn Your Back on a Friend from 73, and the song is Bread Fan. Tremendous song, the song that Metallica covered, but this version is obviously the definitive version. It's absolutely brilliant, and that's my 4th favourite song. My 3rd favourite song by them is from an album I haven't mentioned, and it could easily sneak into the top 5, Bandolier. Brilliant album, actually. Breaking All the House Rules is great. I Can't See My Feelings, Ain't No Mountain. Great songs, but my 3rd favourite Budgie song is a song they also played at Reading. Again, a little nice play on words. It's called Napoleon Boner Part 1 and Napoleon Boner Part 2. Tremendous song. It starts slow, builds up. Brilliant guitar work on it from Tony Burge, who really is just astonishing. Love him. That's my 3rd favourite song, Napoleon Boner Part 1 and Part 2. At number 2, I'm going to my favourite album, and it's the title track. So my 2nd favourite Budgie song is In for the Kill, with such incredibly heavy guitar from Tony Burge on it, and that's a masterpiece, brilliant song. And my favourite song by them is also on In for the Kill. It's the track that closes off side 1, the epic Zoom Club. Tremendous song. If you've not heard it, you must. I'm sure you have if you like this kind of music. So there you go. There's my favourite 5 albums and my favourite 5 songs from hugely influential, if not commercially successful, Welsh band Budgie. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Tell me what your favourites are, and I'm sure I'll be back sometime with another video. Cheers.